This book is going to change the way that we think about MS moving forward. My book has officially come in and I could not be more excited. This is my upcoming book that actually launches this week. It's launching the week of July 10th. At this point, I don't have an exact date and I'll tell you why later, but I've been getting a lot of questions about the book, so I wanted to answer all of those questions for you. But before we do that, I wanted to show you a real live clip of my reaction when I first opened the package and first saw my book. Amazon just dropped off the proof of my book, and I'm going to open it with you. Okay, let's do it. Oh my gosh. My heart is racing so fast. Wow, this is crazy. So this is the cover, The Missing Link. Essential Guide to Improve Your Walking, Strength, and Balance for People with Multiple Sclerosis. This is the back cover, so you've got our quote from Selma Blair, a few details about what you'll learn from this book, author bio, my logo, my eyes are getting a little misty. So there was so much that went into this. I got to choose that I wanted a glossy cover instead of a matte cover, that I wanted cream paper instead of white. Oh my. Finn, do you like it? Are you so proud? Yeah. I really wanted this book to be reader friendly. I didn't want it to read like a textbook, so I went out of my way to add fun things like call out boxes and a bunch of different subtitles just to make it easier to read. Lots of bullet points. Wow. As you can tell, my book is called The Missing Link, The Essential Guide to Improve Walking, Strength, and Balance for People with Multiple Sclerosis. Now, this copy that I'm holding right here is a proof copy, which is why you see this gray line here. It says not for resale. If you decide to purchase a paperback book, it will look just like this, but without that gray line. And the back is really exciting too. So this blue box has a quote from Selma Blair. Actually, let me read that quote to you. Finally, a brilliant and most practical book on understanding neuroplasticity and exercise with MS. A fount of meaningful information and guided movements to begin this journey with Dr. Gretchen Hawley. I have been resistant to purposeful exercise due to lack of interest. This book changes so much, and I am grateful. Essential reading, motivating and incredibly important in all of our healing endeavors. From Selma Blair. I just feel so honored that she read the book and wrote this quote and is endorsing it. And then we've got some information about what the book is about, my author bio, my Missing Link logo. So let's dive in. I want to answer those questions and show you what the book looks like on the inside. The first question that I received several times was, who is this book for and what is it about? And while I feel like the subtitle does a good job at explaining what it's about and what you'll learn, which are exercises and strategies to improve walking, strength, and balance, I definitely can shed some more light as to what you can expect in the book. This book is for anyone with multiple sclerosis who not only is looking to improve goals like walking, strength, balance, you name it, but they also want to feel more empowered and confident and like they are in control over their MS symptoms, because there are so many things that cause us to feel like MS is a priority and then we are secondary because MS is uncontrollable. There's so many unknowns we don't know. But in reality, there are so many things that we can do to improve our strength, our mobility, our independence. And if you just know what those things are, then you can start implementing them. So that's what we review in the book. There's lots of exercises. Let me find a page for you. Let me do a quick flip through so you can see kind of what it looks like. Here's a page that has lots of exercises. So of course there are exercises where you'll be learning exactly what to do, but the ultimate goal is that you'll not only know the exercises, but you'll feel that sense of empowerment. And when you're feeling empowered, you're more likely to stay consistent with your exercises. So that's who it's for. And what it includes is exactly what we just talked about. And one of the other questions I received was actually about the exercises. So let's just dive right into that. The question was, Will you be including exercises that we can do at home? 100% yes. My whole thing is to empower you with exercises that you can do at home without any equipment, partially because you don't need equipment to improve your function, but also because if you need equipment or resistance bands or weights or anything and you don't have it, then you won't be able to do the exercises. It's almost like those are barriers preventing you from exercising, and I didn't want any barriers in this book. So let me show you an example of some of the pictures. This is an example of how to stand up safely. Let's see what else we got here. Towards the end of the book, I review how to stand up from the floor. So these are just the first 4 photos. It's step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. Let me go to the next page. Step 5, 6, 7, and 8. And then over here is a different technique. So there are 2 different types of exercises that you'll see. Things like this, where it's step-by-step instructions, and then also individual exercises. For example, in this chapter, I am demonstrating how to do this exercise where you bend your knee, but I demonstrate how to do it in 5 or 6 different positions. So it's all the same exercise, just different positions based on what you can do today. You might be able to manage different exercise today than tomorrow or yesterday. So there's also that type of exercise. Let me find something else for you too. We've got some balance, some strengthening, some stretching, some cardio, you name it. So this is kind of what the exercises look like. I did get a question of, is Finn in any of the photos? So if you don't know, Finn is my dog, and he is in almost every single video that I make in The Missing Link. Not intentionally, he just tends to walk in as I'm recording videos. So he's unfortunately not in any of these photos. They were professionally taken, and therefore he didn't come to the studio with me and is not in them. But I wish I would have thought of that. He could have made an appearance. And I actually counted today how many exercises are in the book because I was curious. There are over 100. I think it was 108 pictures of these exercises. So there's a lot. And I actually even have an example of an exercise program that you could do. So I say, for example, if you're looking to improve your walking, here is a layout that you could do. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, try these exercises. Tuesday, Thursday, try these. Saturday, try this. I was also asked if this book will help with invisible symptoms. And this is such a good question because so often MS can present with visible symptoms like weakness, spasticity, poor walking, poor balance. And there's lots of exercises that we can do for that. But fortunately, there's lots of exercises and strategies that we can do for invisible symptoms. So yes, absolutely. We cover lots of invisible symptoms in my book. For starters, we cover fatigue, different exercises you can do for fatigue. We cover sensation. So if you have numbness, tingling, burning, pins and needles, we cover that. I've got you covered. We cover heat and cold intolerance. So if that's something you suffer from, I give you some strategies that will hopefully make it a little bit more bearable for you. And I also mention cognition, specifically if you have difficulty multitasking, like walking and listening to someone or walking and talking at the same time. And lastly, this is sometimes an invisible symptom, other times not so invisible, but bowel and bladder function. This is such an important topic that isn't talked about as often as it should be. And we need to talk about it because there are exercises, there are things that you can do for it. So we talk about that too. Another question I got was, what motivated me to write the book? And this is actually a really good question because, to be honest, I don't love writing. I learn best from videos, which is why I love my YouTube channel. It's why I love my Instagram and Facebook, any place that I can record videos. And it's a huge reason, the main reason, that The Missing Link, my online MS wellness program, is an online platform with videos. There's videos for everything. So it was really challenging to write this book because so much of what I do is explained verbally. And one fun thing that I did when writing the book, just to make sure that my words actually made sense and that a reader would be able to understand what I was talking about, is anytime I had to demonstrate or explain in the written form an exercise, I had my husband perform it as I was telling him what to do. So I didn't tell him what the end result was. I just said, hey, can you please follow my instructions? And so he would, and I took him step by step through what I had written. And it was really eye-opening because sometimes he did exactly what he was supposed to, but other times he didn't. And that told me, okay, I need to rewrite this. I need to be a little bit more clear so that the person reading it does this instead. So it definitely was challenging when it came to writing the exercises. There's so much more than just exercises in this book, though. Exercises and strategies is the biggest component, but there's a lot of education. So I even talk in the very beginning about what is multiple sclerosis, who gets it, what causes it, what are the different types, how is it diagnosed, all of that information. I also review things like what is a relapse and what is a pseudo-relapse. And not only that, but what do you do if you're having a relapse or a pseudo-relapse? I also talk about different ways that you can measure your progress at home. Because of course, the goal of exercising is that we see improvements, we see progress, but how are we going to know if we're improving if it's not these big drastic improvements? Well, there's lots of ways. There's lots of tests that you can do at home that can help you see if you are improving, maintaining, or regressing. And so I mention all of those in the book. And let's not forget about mobility aids. I have a full chapter talking about mobility aids, when you should use a mobility aid, why use a mobility aid, how to use one without becoming dependent on it, how to measure it so that it fits your body best. And I even have pictures for that. So mobility aids is definitely one of my favorite chapters. And there's even a chapter that explains how to modify exercises. So if you're having a day where you can't exercise in the way that you normally do, I tell you exactly how to modify them so that you can do something today. Anyways, I got off track. The question was, why did I write the book? So I wrote the book ultimately because I wanted everything in one place. And one place that it currently is available is inside the Missing Link, my online MS wellness program. All of my education, all of my knowledge, my exercises is in that program in video format. But you only can access that if you're in the Missing Link. So I wanted something for everyone else who's not in that program to be able to access this information. A story that I share in the beginning of the book, I believe it's in the introduction, is that in 2016, I went to an MS support group. It was the first one that I had ever been to, and I was going to be a speaker there. And I honestly felt silly going there because I felt like, who am I to educate these people with MS on how to improve their mobility and how to live their best life with MS? I don't have MS. Who am I to do this? And I truly thought, these people who are here, the attendees, know way more than I do about MS because they have MS. But I had already signed up to do the talks. I was like, I'm just going to do it. I just feel silly doing it. And I can't tell you how shocked I was. Literally every slide and everything that I said, they were writing down frantically, every single person, which told me that they didn't know this information. It was brand new information to them. And it shocked me so much because I felt like, why don't they know this? These are things that they should have been doing for years now. How has no one told them this information? And that is the information that's in the book. I felt so bad for every attendee that was there because I felt like the healthcare system had failed them. Their neurologist clearly hadn't told them. Their physical therapist or anyone on their healthcare team hadn't passed along these simple nuggets that they could do, exercises, tools, strategies to improve their symptoms. And it just blew my mind. And I felt like it was very unfair, which led to me creating what I've created so far, which is everything online. And so this is just another way that I can get this information out to help those people who don't have these resources and don't know the things that they can do to improve their symptoms. Another question was, how many pages is it, and will I write another book? So it's 173 pages, and to be honest, when I first started writing it, I for sure thought that this was just one and done. I would write this book, and that was going to be it. But I do feel like I have the writing bug now. Like, I now have thoughts of like 5 more books that I could write. I'm not going to do that. But so for now, it's just this one. It'll be available in paperback and ebook. And then hopefully come this fall, it will be available in audiobook, which I'm super excited about already. But I do think I probably will write another book. I'm not exactly sure. I have so many ideas now. I got to kind of hone it in, and it probably won't be for many years, but it's been a really fun process. I thought that writing this book would be mostly about the writing, and it really hasn't felt that way. The big first hurdle was writing the book, getting the chapters, getting the summaries, all of that good stuff. But then the next part was hiring a book cover designer. So a professional designed this for me and the back cover as well. And then after that, I had to hire a formatter. And I gotta say, the formatting is one of my favorite parts because I didn't want this to read like a textbook. Even though I'm a physical therapist and MS specialist, I wanted it to be reader friendly. So in order to do that, I made a lot of call out boxes just to make it look a little bit different. There's some bullet points throughout the whole thing. There's obviously pictures. I try to bold words when it's important to just kind of draw your eyes to certain areas. And I even have a lot of, let me find one. Subheading. So key takeaways, resources. There's resources and key takeaways in every single chapter. So if you want to learn more about that subject, that's where you can go. You can see there's numbers bulleted. So that was really fun. Ways to activate neuroplasticity. Oh, I forgot to mention that. We have a whole chapter on neuroplasticity, what it is and how to activate it so that it speeds up, so it occurs quicker for you. Exercise guidelines to increase neuroplasticity. So the formatting was extremely important to me. I wanted it to be reader friendly. I didn't want it to just feel like a textbook. So obviously I'm a bit biased, but I only opened this book. It was on my doorstep last Monday, and I opened it on Tuesday. I waited a bit because I wanted to record myself so that I could show you guys my initial reaction. And I can't tell you how many times I've utilized my book. I've quoted myself. It's so nice, and it's just everything is in this one book. You don't have to Google it or search through all of my posts to find it. So just last night, I was on our monthly group call with my Missing Link members. It's a live Q&A that we do. And someone asked me a question about neuroplasticity, and I was forgetting the order of things. And this was sitting right next to me. I was like, let me look. Let me go see what I wrote and see what order it was. So already for me, it's been super useful. I can't even imagine how useful it will be for everyone else. The number one question that I've been asked is, when will your book be available? So what I can tell you is it will be available the week of July 10th, 2023. So if you're watching this after that week, it's available. Look in the comment section or look in the caption and I'll put the link there. That's going to be the best place to find the link. But if it's before that week, it might not be available yet. And the reason that it's a little bit tricky and why I don't have an exact date is because when you publish a book on Amazon, so this is self-published, at least right now, when you publish a book on Amazon, you can click a day to make it go live. But once you make the book go live, it actually takes 3 to 10 days to actually show up on Amazon. So that's a pretty big range. So because of that, I don't have an exact date yet. But when I do, of course, I will share it with you guys. If you are on my email list or you follow me on social media, I for sure will be telling you the launch day. I'll give you the link and all of that information that you need to go get it. As I mentioned earlier, it's going to be available in paperback and in ebook format. And another question that I've been getting, and I'm going to have to pull up my phone for this to share it with you, is where can I buy it and what countries? So if you don't know this, I've helped about 750 people inside the Missing Link from 23 different countries. So I have quite an international following, which is amazing. It warms my heart so much because I never could have helped people internationally when working in a PT clinic. So that's for another day. But anyways, the question is, where can I buy the book? And so it will be on Amazon, and it specifically will be in 13 countries. So I'm going to share with you right now which countries those are. So of course, it's going to be available in the United States. It will also be available in Canada, the United Kingdom, Germany, France, Spain, Italy, the Netherlands, Australia, Poland, Sweden, Japan, and India. So while I'm super excited that I think it's 13 countries, I have had people message me saying, oh, I'm not in one of those countries. Will you be coming to this other country? Hopefully that's really up to Amazon and when they allow it to be in other countries. But super excited for those of you that do live in those countries to grab yourself a copy. If you have any other questions about this book that I haven't answered already, please let me know. I would love to answer them for you. Just go ahead and drop them in the comment section. I'll keep an eye out there, and I'm so excited about this release day. Again, if you're watching this after the week of July 10th, it's already published, which is even more exciting. And check the comments for the link to purchase, but keep your eyes and ears open. I cannot wait for you to get this book in your hands, whether it's ebook or paperback or in the fall audiobook. It's going to change the way that we think about MS. It's going to make you feel empowered and hopeful. I have several people who are in the Missing Link that are helping me launch this book. They're on my book launch team. And essentially, I gave them access to the PDF version of the book for about a month. I had them read it in advance so that on launch day, they will be able to order it on Amazon and write a review right away because it helps with the Amazon algorithm, and algorithms are it these days. So because they've been reading it for about a month, I've been getting so much feedback about how much hope they feel. And they have shown me pictures of using Post-it notes and highlighters, and they're writing notes even within the book because there's just so much value and so much information in there. They're feeling empowered and they can't wait to see it in the actual book format. And that's what I'm excited for you guys too. That's all I've got for you today. Let me know what questions you have, and I will talk to you soon. And if you have found my page valuable, if you're loving my exercises and they've been helping you in your daily life, don't forget to subscribe, like this video, and share my videos with a friend.